How's it going, and welcome back for a new sandbox video. I've gained a lot of new subscribers lately pertaining to the game Raw or Onsets or maybe even Police 1013. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're all enjoying the content, and I hope you'll stick around for future content as well. So for all of you coming from Raw and the roleplay genre, let this be a nice little introduction to the game Sandbox. It is a new game being developed by Facepunch Studios, who is the developer behind Garry's Mod. Garry's Mod happens to be ground zero for a very popular role-playing game mode called Dark RP. Not only that, but Garry's Mod has held a very strong and large population for a very long time. You can look it up on Steam charts and see that it holds tens of thousands of players at any given time, really. If I had to choose between any role-playing game and Sandbox, I think Sandbox has the greatest potential for the upcoming future. Considering the success behind Garry's Mod, Facepunch Studios knows what they're doing when it comes to sandbox games. Not only that, but Garry's Mod has a huge population, so player count should never be an issue. And of course, Sandbox is being built on a modern engine. At the moment, it's being developed on Unreal Engine 4, but the codebase is actually being developed to be engine agnostic, meaning if they ever want to switch engines, they can do so with minimal effort. And this finally brings us to the topic of this video. What is the possibility of Sandbox being developed on Source Engine 2? It might seem a little bit funny for Facepunch Studios to develop Sandbox on Unreal Engine for so long, only to one day say never mind and switch over to Source 2. I'm not sure, maybe Facepunch just never had access to Source Engine 2, and they wanted to start developing Sandbox right away, so they just picked up Unreal and decided to make it engine agnostic, so that when Source 2 is finally made available to them, they can just switch on over. We haven't really seen anything for updates lately from the Sandbox developers, and I believe this could be due to Sandbox developers switching their networking platform from Unreal Engine's built-in networking to Steam sockets. So it's a very real possibility that we haven't been seeing any updates because Sandbox right now is simply broken and they're just going back and fixing everything. So why would they decide one day just to switch over to Steam sockets? Maybe they want to separate themselves even further from Unreal Engine because the possibility is real that they will eventually transition to Source 2. Of course, they're not going to say anything about this to us. Source 2 is a very private thing by Valve, and maybe they're under some sort of non-disclosure agreement. I personally really like the idea of being on Source, simply because we will have complete support for BSP loading. This means all entities, and we'll have access to content from all the Half-Life and Source Engine games, and that's quite a bit of content. I think that would really appeal to all the Garry's Mod and Source Engine players, and not only bring up the population of the game, but make things more interesting and more fun overall. And this would potentially even reduce the workload for the Facepunch developers, considering Source Engine has its own map editor. A fully functioning map editor can be quite a bit of work, and Facepunch Studios was working on their own built-in map editor, but they merged it into the Sandbox game mode, so it's more of a map editor slash sandbox. And I think this is even more evidence that we might be seeing a switch to Source 2, because why would they sort of dumb down their map editor into a sandbox game mode if they didn't have any plans for a better map editor, and that better map editor being Source 2's Hammer. Anyways, that's pretty much a wrap for this video. If you're interested in tracking the development of Sandbox, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel, or you can join the Discord, the official Sandbox Discord, which I will put a link to in the description of this video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.